You think you may have the truth. You don't. You think you have. But your teachings and your belief systems are based on what other men have come up with in the past, in the ancient history. There were people asking the same questions thousands of years ago that we're still answering and we're still asking today. Where did we humans come from? Where did we go when we leave here? When you die, where are you going? Well, you don't even know where you came from. And we can tell by the way you're living, you don't even know what you're doing now. So how in the world would you even want to think about where you're going to go when you leave here? Just be happy you're going. The fun is in the trip. So don't worry about where you're going. Just learn and understand what you're doing here and where you come from. And then you can pretty well figure out where we're headed as people on the earth. And let me give you a couple of examples of what I'm talking about how we accept things today and we think we understand where they come from and have no idea in the world. Christians talk about being baptized. And when you're baptized, we say when you come out of the water, you're born again. And they become a born-again Christian because they were baptized. Why do you have to be baptized? Well, that comes from the idea that is a very old and a well-established understanding of the human family that when your mother gave birth to you, her water broke. You came out of water. Her water broke. And you came out and you were born into this world. And so if you're going to be born again, you have to go back into your mother's water and try it again. Come out this time out of your mother's water and live a different life. And so therefore you're going to be fresh and clean. You've washed away your old life. You come out of your mother's water. Mother Nature, Mother Earth. The earth is your mother. And so you go back into her water, into a stream or a river or something, and you douse yourself in Mother Earth's water, and you come out of your mother's water, and now you're born again. That's where it comes from. You're just cleaning up your life by going back into your mother's water and coming out to be born again. Very simple. Another classic example is when you're collecting money in the church, you're tithing, and some people are giving 10% of what they earn, some are 20%, some are 2%. People give money to their religious organizations. We call it tithing. Well, we have to do that. Yeah, like George Carlin says, God is omnipotent, He's omnipresent, He's almighty, He's the almighty God, but He can't handle money. He always needs a few more dollars. God doesn't need any of your money. But why do we have a tithing? It's because the ancient world, going back to Europe, realized that when you collect your food at the harvest season, you leave about 10% of the seeds in the food in a storage bin. Why? So that next year you can now have something to plant again. If you eat everything that you have planted last year, then you got nothing to plant next year. So now what are you going to do next year? You're going to starve next year. And so what you do is take 10% of whatever it is you were able to get and what's the word I'm looking for? Harvest. Take 10% of your harvest and put it into a storage house. And now next year you will have seeds to plant for more food to come. And so what you're doing is you're giving back 10% of what God has given you to eat, giving it back to God by putting it in the earth, and hopefully it will draw interest and you will have food to eat next year. So that's where the idea of giving 10% back to God. It's not to give money. No, the money's going to the people, to the corporations, to the church, which is a business. No, the reason why you give money is because you're giving 10% of the food and the seeds back into God. You're putting it back into the earth, and God makes it grow. And so God will give you something to eat next year. That's where the tithing comes from. It has to do with agricultural, saving the seeds for next year. But we today say, wow, that's a great idea. We could package that and that's a wonderful idea. Make everybody believe God needs our money, and we can build big churches, build these monstrous, huge Vaticans and incredible temples, cost millions of dollars, and just rape the people and rip them off and take all their money. And if they don't give it all to the Lord, then they're going to go to hell, because the church needs the money. God needs the money. And who's going to be the beneficiaries of the money? The priests. They're the ones that are collecting it.
Well,
they don't have to go to work.
Right.
They don't have to go to work. You do.